All right, guys. So this just in, a jury member is speaking out on TikTok, but is not showing their face because they wish to remain anonymous. So let's get into it. They posted two videos, one about Elaine Bredhoff being on the Today Show, as well as one about the trial itself. I will play those at the end, but let's get into these comments where they spill some tea. Wawa asks, what was your reaction when her dog stepped on a bee? He writes, she seemed to just be pulling stories out of the air at that point. Why 10 million and not 50? Unrealistic amount, and not all the jurors agreed on amounts, found a happy medium. Can you give any insight as to why you found in Amber's favor on one statement? He writes, it was a compromise. The jury has to be unanimous. I was all in favor of Depp 100%. What was you/the other jurors' reaction to her constantly looking over at you, and thoughts on Dr. Spiegel? He writes, it seemed incredibly unnatural, and it's hard to have someone constantly look at you when you can't talk back to them. User asks, can you tell us why it was 15 million but not 50 million? And thank you for giving back Johnny life. He answers, jury cannot agree on the amount. User asks, thank you for sharing this. Were there moments in the trial that helped you see who was the actual victim here? He answers, yes, she reminded me of my ex, how she used to gaslight. I trusted my gut. User asks, did the jurors pick up on the fact that Amber initially denied the op-ed was about JD, but then she completely admitted it during her final testimony? He writes, yes, we did. This user asks, did the jury notice she never shed a real tear? He answers, yes. Gavin asks, did everyone on the jury hate Amber? He writes, not hate, but most didn't empathize. Ashley asks, what would you say the moment that you were like, nope, if she's lying about this, she's lying about everything? He writes, I would say the donation/pledge to charity. A user asks, what did you think of Dr. Spiegel, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory psychiatrist? He writes, he did not help Amber's case at all. A user asked, did you notice the bruise kit that was in the photo with the ice cream melting down his pants? He answers, I did not notice that. Wow. Someone asked, did you think Isaac Baruch was a gem as well? I love him. He answers, he was by far the best, straight to the point, no BS. User asked, did any of the jurors believe Amber? He writes, wouldn't say believed her, but saw it as they both were guilty of defaming each other. A user asked, we were so scared since you weren't allowed to go to social media. Has anything you've seen after the trial shocked you? He writes, just how funny all the edits are, because all I saw was 100 hours of unedited debating, puts it into perspective, the court of public opinion. Jessica asks, now that you have been on social media, is there anything you've heard or read that would have changed your decisions had you known before? He answers, I guess it's seeing a compilation of mannerisms from both sides. Seeing it in that context makes it much more obvious, and all the insight from TikTok. All right, so that pretty much covers all of the questions that were answered on his TikTok. I avoided some duplicates. Now let's watch that one video he posted. It's very interesting, and I linked his TikTok down below so you guys can check it out as well.
So today was my last day of being a juror on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. And I wish to remain anonymous, but I thought I'd give some insight on my thoughts about the trial. I don't follow pop culture too much, so I haven't really been a fan of Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, so I feel I was able to be pretty unbiased about the whole thing. But from the very beginning, when Amber Heard was testifying, everything just seemed so off with how she kept making eye contact with me, and it made me extremely uncomfortable to where I would no longer look over at her when she was giving her answers. I would just listen intently, and everything she was saying came off like bullshit. And I wasn't following anything on TikTok during the whole trial, and I was scrolling through after the trial, and it blows my mind on how every single person seemed to be commenting on how weird it was. So, good news for Johnny Depp. That was my gut feeling after all the information in the trial. But Amber Heard, what a crazy woman.
Wow, guys. So you heard it here first, folks. A juror has spoken out on TikTok and wishes to remain anonymous. What do you guys think of these insights provided by the juror? Sound off in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can hang out with me and Miss Gabby and Cardi, who's actually a little shy right now, in the future. Bye, guys.